Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 23rd of April 2024. Now the prices of Bitcoin and the global cryptocurrency market, guys, is definitely looking good comparison to last week. So it's going to be really interesting to see, guys, the impact of halving. Now in my episode yesterday, guys, I talked about the transaction fees that pumped up a lot, isn't it? And that was because of runes, but looks like the transaction fees has drastically fallen down. So in today's episode, we'll definitely go ahead and touch base on this. Now look, guys, ever since BlackRock got into the Bitcoin spot ETF game, the entire narrative of Bitcoin has changed, isn't it? And looks like BlackRock are extremely serious regarding Bitcoin. And what they are doing, guys, is on their website they have an educational series. So in today's episode, I'll very briefly touch base on what the series is all about, because looks like they want to go ahead and help people understand Bitcoin ETFs, and they have released a couple of episodes where they go ahead and explain Bitcoin 101, how to invest in Bitcoin ETF, and quite a lot of other. Now look, guys, BlackRock doing that is definitely a great sign, isn't it? And I'm really curious to check if other companies start doing that as well. Now in the world of Bitcoin mining, guys, because there was rune that kicked in, miners did actually receive $100 million in fees, so I'll go ahead and touch base on that as well. Now in today's episode, guys, there is not some macro level news as such, but there are a couple of partnerships I'd like to talk about. And the first partnership is from Bahrain and a leading cryptocurrency exchange called as CoinMena. They have actually partnered with Standard Chartered Zodiac Markets, and I'll go ahead and explain how it enhances liquidity on fiat to crypto traders, so definitely positive news. Now the second news, guys, is definitely a massive one, and that is a partnership between Manchester City and OKX, and looks like they are launching new NFTs. Now look, guys, since the last few weeks, NFTs have made a comeback, isn't it? And along with NFTs, guys, even meme coins are definitely making quite a lot of news. And in my episode yesterday, guys, I did actually talk about runes on Bitcoin blockchain. And if you want to go and launch new things, you can definitely do that via rune. And these are plethora of innovations that can actually take place only in Bitcoin, isn't it? But look, guys, you truly need to understand the sole purpose of Bitcoin is peer-to-peer electronic cash system. As long as it does that, I think the whole vision and promise of Satoshi Nakamoto will be a success. So these are the news, guys, I'm going to be talking about in my Crypto and Coffee at 8 podcast. And like we do in every Crypto and Coffee at 8 series, I'm going to be looking at two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now the first news, guys, is regarding a setup in Abu Dhabi Global Market, and Varus Capital Ventures Limited is set to launch their office in Abu Dhabi Global Market, and they also have a fund, guys, and the fund has identified commitments across DeFi, GameFi, Web3 infrastructure, and also emerging technologies, and all of these things, guys, do actually center around blockchain. So in today's episode, I'll definitely go and expand more on this news. Now the second news, guys, is a massive news, and this is in the world of artificial intelligence. And Dubai, guys, has announced Global AI Prompt Engineering Championship. Now look, guys, I definitely urge you to take it seriously. And what is a bit spooky, guys, is while I was preparing for this podcast, I did get a pop-up of a story via Instagram that did actually talk about this very specific news. And as a matter of fact, guys, I went ahead and applied for it as well. These are the crazy and spooky world we are living in, isn't it? And with artificial intelligence going mainstream, I really am not sure what the future is, probably a decade or 2 decades from now. So quite a lot to cover, guys, in today's episode. Let's kickstart with it right away. Welcome to the Crypto and Coffee at 8, the daily podcast that keeps you up to date on all latest developments in the world of cryptocurrencies, blockchain, and NFTs. Join us Monday to Friday as you kick off your day with a cup of coffee and a deep dive into the exciting and rapidly evolving world of digital assets. We'll cover the latest news and trends in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, as well as delve into the growing world of NFTs or non-fungible tokens and metaverse. Plus, we'll keep you updated on the latest developments from Dubai, UAE and the wider Middle East region. Whether you're a seasoned crypto enthusiast or just getting started, Crypto and Coffee at 8 has something for you. Our expert host will provide insight and analysis on the most important topics in the industry and help you stay up to date on the latest developments. We'll bring you interviews with leading figures in the crypto and blockchain space and explore the ways in which these technologies are changing the world around us. From the impact on traditional financial systems to the potential for revolutionizing industries and transforming societies, we'll cover it all on Crypto and Coffee at 8. So tune in and join us for a daily dose of Crypto and Coffee at 8, and let's stay ahead of the curve together. We'll start your day off right with the most important news and insights from the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse, and help you navigate this exciting and rapidly evolving landscape. In Crypto and Coffee at 8, the daily podcast covers the latest developments in the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse. We'll also bring you updates on the latest news from Dubai, UAE and wider Middle East region. This also includes a range of topics such as developments in the local and blockchain industry, including new projects and initiatives, regulatory updates, and policies related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region, local and regional events and conferences focused on crypto and blockchain, interviews with leading figures in Dubai, UAE and Middle East crypto and blockchain community, coverage of any significant news or events related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region. By covering these local and regional developments, in addition to the wider world of cryptocurrency and blockchain, Crypto and Coffee at 8 aims to provide a comprehensive overview of the industry and its impact on the Dubai, UAE and Middle East region. Now before we kickstart today's episode, I have an important message, so check this out. Thank you to our sponsors for being part of the blockchain DXB journey. Firstly, Advanced Media. Advanced Media, guys, is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact, guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well, and Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously, and they're focusing on 3 P's, that is people, planet and prosperity. Now listen, guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website, that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so, guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE, so definitely check it out. And also, guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing and hosting training workshops, seminars and community events that educate, inform and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen, guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website, that is www.amt.tv, and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Tough Mudder Arabia, guys, they are putting some really iconic events in the Middle East, and there is one final event of the season that takes place on the 20th of April in the iconic location called as Al Marjan in Ras Al Khaimah. And the final event of the season, guys, is not going to be an ordinary event. They're going to be having some really cool obstacles. And so far as Tough Mudder is concerned, guys, they create hardcore obstacle courses designed to test your all-round strength, stamina and mental grit. And with the most innovative courses and millions of participants all around the world, it is the premier challenge series in the world. Now look at Tough Mudder Arabia, they did put out, if not one of the biggest events in the world of obstacle course race, and they did that with the highest prize money in the history of obstacle course race. And what better way to end the series by having one final event on the 20th of April in the iconic location. Now look, guys, one of my goals is to complete 100 Tough Mudder, and I'm very close to getting there. Now if you want to go ahead and sign up for this event, the registration link is in the show notes below. So what are you waiting for, guys? Get your friends, get your family members, get your colleagues. The link to the registration for Tough Mudder Arabia on the 20th of April is in the show notes below. And if you go through the link, guys, there is a cool discount code mentioned in the show notes below as well. So hopefully, guys, I see you at the Tough Mudder event. Next, Startup OI is global one tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now, guys, since you've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now, the global cryptocurrency market, guys, has definitely bumped up since the last 24 hours. Today, it is at $2.45 trillion, and since the last 24 hours, it is up by 2.63%. Now, if you look at the total cryptocurrency market volume, guys, granted, it is definitely less when the spot Bitcoin ETF got approved, but since the last few weeks, guys, it has definitely improved, and as of today, it is at $70.91 billion. And since the last 24 hours, it is up by 24.71%. Now, let me very quickly run through the volume in DeFi, guys, because to be honest, guys, DeFi's numbers are definitely not looking good. As a matter of fact, guys, that is the only matrix which has been relatively consistent, probably along with privacy coins, and DeFi's 24-hour volume, guys, is only at $5.66 billion, and DeFi is accounting for only 7.99% of the total cryptocurrency market 24-hour volume. And so far as DeFi's dominance is concerned, guys, Lido is still dominating with $29.87 billion. And if you look at decentralized to centralized exchange dominance, guys, it is at 18.95%. Now, let me very quickly run through the volume of decentralized exchanges, guys, because if you look at the volume of Uniswap, it has actually gone down by well over 50%. Now, the volume going down by 50% is definitely strange, but there is a valid reason as well, isn't it? Because last week we talked about US Security and Exchange Commission serving a Wells notice to Uniswap's lab, isn't it? And because of that, guys, looks like the volume has drastically gone down. So what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, keep a track on the 24-hour volume of Uniswap in particular. Now, look, I wouldn't be surprised if the second or third protocol, such as, let's say, Radium or Curve Finance, does try to overtake the decentralized exchanges. Only time will tell, I guess. Now, the second one, guys, is Radium, and the volume is well below the $1 billion mark. It is at $858.95 million. PancakeSwap, guys, is at number 3rd, and its volume is $708.52 million. Orca is at number 4th, and its 24-hour volume is $277.68 million. And finally, Curve Finance, guys, its volume is $229 million. Now, let's say, guys, given the worst situation, let's say if something bad happens to Uniswap, how do you think the decentralized exchange will react? To be honest, guys, I wouldn't be surprised if there are new protocols that will be created. And this might be an ideal time for, let's say, PancakeSwap, which mostly works on Binance BNB chain, to take decentralized exchanges in it. Only time will tell, I guess. Now, if you look at the volume of stablecoins, guys, it is still low. Based on the numbers, looks like a lot of people are going ahead and buying a lot of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, isn't it? So despite the volume of stablecoins being low, you can tell by these numbers that looks like people are using centralized exchanges and converting the fiat currencies to go out and buy a lot of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, you need to understand, guys, this is just a macro level snapshot. If you do want to go out and look at any technical details, Glassnode's reports do actually provide more information, and they do provide a weekly insight which is published on Tuesdays, so please feel free to go out and check it out. Now, so far as the volume of stablecoins is concerned, guys, it is at $66.54 billion, and stablecoins as of today is accounting for 93.83% of the total cryptocurrency market 24-hour volume. And out of the $66.54 billion, guys, Tether USDT is accounting for $51.59 billion, followed by FTUSD and FDUSD's 24-hour volume is $7.45 billion, followed by Circle USDC, guys. Its volume is less than $7 billion mark at $6.97 billion. Now look, guys, I'm seeing FDUSD's volume definitely picking up pace, slowly and gradually. Now I'm really curious to check, guys, if we do see a stablecoin war, let's say between the issuers of FDUSD and Circle USDC. So it's going to be interesting times in the world of stablecoins, to be honest. Now let's quickly run through the market cap, 24-hour trading volume and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now if you look at the 24-hour trading volume, guys, of Bitcoin, it is just bumped up by $7 billion, and as of today it is at $27.32 billion. But because the prices have gone up, looks like a lot of people are going ahead and purchasing a lot of Bitcoin, isn't it? And Ethereum's 24-hour trading volume is at $11.80 billion. Now sadly, guys, Ethereum's dominance is only at 15.70%, whereas Bitcoin's dominance has marginally picked up pace, and today it is at 53.68%. Now so far as the market cap is concerned, guys, Bitcoin's market cap is at $1.31 trillion, whereas Ethereum's market cap is at $385 billion. Now you need to understand, guys, today is the 23rd of April, and in just a matter of 7 days, Jerome Powell will be making a decision regarding the interest rate hike. And because the inflation numbers were ridiculously high since the last 3 months, I wouldn't be surprised if he decides to keep the interest rate the same, or in the worst scenario, guys, he decides to go ahead and increase the interest rate hike. And if that thing happens, guys, I'm pretty much sure it's going to negatively impact the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, isn't it? So what I'd really recommend you to do is, I believe on the 1st of May is when Jerome Powell will be making a decision. So I urge you to go ahead and watch him live on YouTube, because he does give his reasoning as to why he's gone ahead and decided to make any decision regarding the interest rate hike. Now, guys, in today's episode, let me very quickly run through the market cap of AI tokens. Now this, to be honest, guys, may not make a lot of sense, because according to me, when you talk about artificial intelligence, guys, it would make more sense to work on a centralized system, and I don't think so there is use case of artificial intelligence to be working on blockchain or distributed form of consensus, in my opinion. Now the number one AI token, guys, that deals with artificial intelligence is Render, and its market cap is $3.57 billion. And what is a bit sad, guys, it is definitely more than Monero's market cap as well, isn't it? The second one, guys, is BitTensor, and the market cap is $3.42 billion. Theta Network is at number 3rd, and its market cap is $2.36 billion, still more than Monero's market cap, isn't it? The fourth one is Fetch.ai, its market cap is $2.09 billion, and finally, guys, at number 5th is Singularity Net, and its market cap is $1.26 billion. Now look, guys, are you someone who is using artificial intelligence on a daily basis? I tend to use ChatGPT-4 almost on a daily basis, and truth be told, guys, it saves me at least 3 to 4 hours every day. But beyond ChatGPT-4, are you someone who's using, let's say, Google's Bard, or let's say Gemini, or any different protocol? Mention them in the comments below. Now, guys, before we look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin, what I want to do is, guys, I want to run through some information regarding Bitcoin halving. Now listen, guys, so far as Bitcoin halving is concerned, the event that did actually take place on the 20th of April, that is set to determine the price of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency market as well, isn't it? So let me very briefly touch base only on Bitcoin halving now, so you guys can better understanding. Because when you talk about Bitcoin halving, guys, it is essentially an event that occurs approximately every 4 years in Bitcoin network. And Bitcoin halving, guys, or halving, however you like to call it, is a crucial aspect of Bitcoin's monetary policy, and it is designed to control the rate at which new Bitcoins are created and thereby maintaining its scarcity, isn't it? So the big question, guys, is how does the Bitcoin halving work? So listen, guys, in the Bitcoin network, new Bitcoins are created as a reward for miners who contribute the computing power to validate and secure transactions on the blockchain. And this particular process, guys, is known as mining. And initially, guys, when Satoshi Nakamoto created Bitcoin in 2009, the reward for mining a new block was 50 Bitcoins. However, guys, every 210,000 block mined, the reward is halved. This means, guys, that the number of new Bitcoins created per block decreases by half. Now, the first Bitcoin halving, guys, did actually occur in 2012, when the block reward was reduced from 50 Bitcoins to 25 Bitcoins. Now, so far as the second halving was concerned, guys, I definitely experienced that, and I believe it did actually take place in July. And one of the OGs, guys, called Simon Dixon, he was actually in Dubai, and I was fortunate enough to meet him at Astro Labs, where he went ahead and explained further information regarding Bitcoin halving. And trust me, guys, the price of Bitcoin back then was around $160, and we were just discussing what would the price of Bitcoin be after the halving. And trust me, guys, we thought even if the price crosses $200, that would be an absolutely massive deal. And what happened the following year, the price of Bitcoin did reach around $20,000, isn't it? These are some crazy wild times during Bitcoin halving. Now, so far as 2016 is concerned, guys, the reward got reduced to 12.5 bitcoins per block, and the next halving did actually take place in May of 2020, where the reward was cut to 6.25 bitcoins per block. Now, the final one, guys, that we have was last week on block number 840,000, and that did actually take place on the 20th of April. Now, look, guys, so far as halving is concerned, or halving, however you like to call it, it does have significant implications for Bitcoin supply dynamics. And by reducing the rate at which new bitcoins are introduced into circulation, guys, it does actually slow down the pace at which the total supply of Bitcoin grows, isn't it? And this scarcity is one of the key factors contributing to Bitcoin's value proposition as a store of value and digital gold. Now look, guys, so far as gold is concerned, its government and policies and businesses, they got and try to manipulate the supply, isn't it? In case of Bitcoin, guys, there is absolutely no one trying to manipulate the supply. And that is one key difference, guys, between scarcity of assets and Bitcoin, to be honest. Now look, guys, historically, Bitcoin halving events have been associated with increased attention and even speculation in the cryptocurrency market, and some proponents argue that reduction in supply of new Bitcoins could actually lead to upward pressure on prices due to increased scarcity. Although, guys, this is not guaranteed, and it does depend on various market factors as well, isn't it? Now, one crazy thing I can think of is, guys, let's say if the supply is only 21 million Bitcoins, and because 90% of the supply is already out, I'm pretty much sure it could also work out negatively, isn't it? Because look, when you talk about human greed, when you talk about how humans interact, we absolutely cannot predict anything, isn't it? So in a wild situation, guys, could it be possible that people do actually think that 21 million Bitcoin is ridiculously less? We can't go ahead and acquire most of it. Why not just ignore about it and focus on artificial intelligence? And if that thing happens, guys, trust me, the price of Bitcoin will actually drastically go down. And what happened, guys, ironically, James Butterfly, who's the head of research for CoinShares, he did actually write a blog, and he did actually talk about the mining industry. It would be much more profitable for them to go and use it for artificial intelligence rather than Bitcoin mining. Because look, when you talk about mining or Bitcoin, guys, I believe at this point of time it costs roughly around $53,000 to go and mine one Bitcoin. But what these miners can do is utilize these computational powers where artificial intelligence is concerned, and maybe they can earn quite a lot more, isn't it? Now, so far as Bitcoin halving is concerned, guys, let me go ahead and touch base on 5 more areas, guys. That is scarcity and inflation control, market dynamics, miner economics, network security, and halving as a deflationary mechanism. And let me know, guys, what your thoughts are regarding this. Because when you talk about scarcity and inflation control, guys, Bitcoin halving plays a crucial role in controlling the inflation rate of Bitcoin, and unlike traditional fiat currencies that are subject to manipulation by central banks, even notorious politicians, Bitcoin's monetary policy, guys, is predetermined and transparent. The halving mechanism ensures that the rate of new Bitcoin issuance decreases over time, leading to a predictable and limited supply. And this scarcity is one of the defining characteristics of Bitcoin and is often cited as a reason for its potential as a hedge against inflation. Now, so far as market dynamics is concerned, guys, look, Bitcoin halving events often attract significant attention from investors, traders, and mainstream media as well. And anticipation of halving can lead to speculation and increased trading activity in the weeks and months leading up to the event. And historically, guys, Bitcoin prices have experienced both volatility and significant price appreciation in the aftermath of halving events. Now look, guys, historically 6 to 8 months after the halving is when Bitcoin usually tends to reach a new all-time high. So look, I wouldn't be surprised towards the end of this year, the price of Bitcoin might just cross the $200,000 mark. These are just wild speculation, to be honest. And as I always say, all price predictions are 100% right, 50% of the time, isn't it? Now, so far as Bitcoin mining is concerned, guys, it is important to know that the past performance is not indicative of future results, and market dynamics can vary from one halving event to another. And look, as with geopolitical chaos that is going on right now in the Middle East, and with US elections coming up, I really am not sure in which direction the price of Bitcoin will go, to be honest. Now, the next point, guys, I'd like to talk about is regarding miner economics. And look, as Bitcoin mining is a competitive process where miners use computational power to solve complex mathematical puzzles and validate the transaction on blockchain. And in return, guys, they are rewarded with newly minted Bitcoins and even transaction fees. And yesterday, guys, I talked about transaction fees that were ridiculously high, isn't it? And that was because of runes. But later on in the episode, guys, I'll go ahead and talk about how the transaction fees have actually gone down by almost 50%. Now, so far as the halving is concerned, guys, the halving reduces the block reward, impacting the profitability of mining operations. And so far as miners is concerned, guys, they must adapt to improving efficiency, upgrading hardware and seeking lower cost electricity to remain profitable, and some less efficient miners may be forced to shut down operations, leading to temporary decrease in network hash rate until difficulty adjusts. Now look guys, in 2021, a lot of the miners did decide to go ahead and shut down the operation, and in my Crypto and Coffee 88 episode guys, back then, I used to go ahead and explain the reason why the miners used to decide to go ahead and shut down the operation, despite knowing for a fact that in future that the price of Bitcoin will be increasing. Because they have taken out loans, most of these miners do get liquidated because they are unable to go ahead and pay for their loans, and unfortunately they have to go ahead and shut down the operation. And these are some of the risks miners have to go ahead and take. Now, so far as network security is concerned guys, Bitcoin security model relies on decentralized nature of its network, and the computational power, that is hash rate, is contributed by miners, isn't it? Now, so far as the halving of it is concerned, it does not directly affect the security of the network as such, but it indirectly influences miners' behavior. Because look, if the block reward decreases significantly and miners are unable to cover their operational cost, there could be a temporary decline in hash rate, potentially making the network more vulnerable to attacks. However guys, Bitcoin's difficulty adjustment mechanism ensures that blocks continue to be mined at a consistent rate, thereby maintaining network security over the long term. And this is one of the genius moves by Satoshi Nakamoto, isn't it? So what happens guys is every 2016 block, the Bitcoin mining difficulty gets adjusted. So let's say if there are too many miners, and if mining Bitcoins are tough, the Bitcoin mining gets seized. But let's say after 2016 block, if the Bitcoin mining is relatively easier, it automatically becomes difficult. Now it's really important to note guys, there is no human element to it. This is all coded by Satoshi Nakamoto, and that is one of the genius of Satoshi Nakamoto, isn't it? Now so far as deflationary mechanism is concerned, the gradual reduction in the rate of new Bitcoin issuance guys through halving events contribute to Bitcoin's deflationary nature. And unlike fiat currencies guys that can be printed indefinitely, Bitcoin has a fixed supply of 21 million coins, and as the supply approaches the limit, scarcity becomes even more pronounced, potentially driving up demands and prices. And some proponents guys also argue that Bitcoin's deflationary model incentivizes saving and long-term investment as opposed to, let's say, inflationary nature of traditional fiat currencies. So look guys, when you talk about Bitcoin halving, it is essentially a fundamental aspect of cryptocurrency's design, impacting its supply dynamics, market behavior, network security. And while the event itself is predetermined and occurs approximately every 4 years, its effects on the broader Bitcoin ecosystem are subject to various economical, technological, market forces and geopolitical situation, isn't it? So it's going to be really interesting to see guys how the price of Bitcoin reacts, because look guys, I've been seeing this particular year, there are 2 more events that are really crucial. The next one is in the month of May, where we find out if an Ethereum ETF is approved or not. And then guys, towards the end of the year you have US election, and I wouldn't be surprised if you're heading towards World War III by then. So it's going to be really interesting and scary times, to be honest. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Bitcoin reacts. Now guys, since you've taken care of information regarding Bitcoin halving, let's look at the price of Bitcoin guys, because right now it is at $67,082, and since the last 24 hours it is up by 3.14%, and since the last 7 days it is up by 5.68%, and Ethereum guys is at $3,219, and since the last 24 hours it is up by 2.02%, since the last 7 days it is up by 2.94%. Binance BNB Coin guys is definitely looking good. It has crossed the $600 mark. It is at $605, and since the last 24 hours it is up by 4.34%. Since the last 7 days it is up by 8.64%. Now look guys, because Bitcoin halving took place on April 20th, 63 blocks have been mined, and Bitcoin miners guys have accumulated substantial fees following a dramatic increase in the fee rate, and this surge guys did actually cause transactions rising from $18 to $245. Now imagine guys paying $245, that is ridiculously high volume, isn't it? And that was only because of runes. In yesterday's episode I went in and explained more information regarding this. Now look guys, Bitcoin is experiencing a DeFi summer moment as the new Rune token standard led to a record daily miner reward and transaction fees, and Bitcoin's fourth halving reduced miners block subsidy rewards, but transaction fees have surged, exceeding subsidy reward for over 100 blocks. Now so far as the hype regarding runes is concerned guys, it is essentially a new token standard for Bitcoin, and it did drive speculative activity and increased competition, resulting in ridiculously high transaction fees, isn't it? Now it's really important to note guys that after the initial surge in transaction fees, which did actually reach a peak of $128.54 on the day of the halving, average fees have significantly declined as of 21st of April, and it did actually go down to $34.80. Now, if you do want to go ahead and check more information, guys, you can do that by going to mempool data. And guys, what that mempool space also states is that the total daily miner revenue has also dropped to approximately $51 million, and the average fees have decreased further to only $10. Now look guys, the price is going down for doing transactions is definitely great, but so far as miners is concerned, they are definitely losing a lot of money, isn't it? And there are different reports, guys, that are actually stating that miners have accumulated over $100 million in fees itself. That is taking into data till today. So if you're mining, you would definitely be sad that you're not making as much money, isn't it? Now guys, let me discuss some news regarding BlackRock and the trillion-dollar giant, guys. They have released a series of educational videos, and they did that so people can learn more about investing in Bitcoin and understanding the benefits of using an ETF like IBIT shares, that is by BlackRock. Now the education series, guys, by BlackRock is titled Understanding Bitcoin ETFs, and the link to the iShares website, guys, is in the show notes below, and they are focusing on 5 areas, that is Bitcoin 101, and under Bitcoin 101, guys, they go ahead and explain what is Bitcoin, what is the supply of Bitcoin, how Bitcoin works, so on and so forth. The second one is understanding Bitcoin, the third one is investing in Bitcoin ETF, and the fourth one, guys, they have industry insights, and finally, guys, in the fifth section, they have different resources. So what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, in case if you want to get your hands on Bitcoin ETF, definitely feel free to go ahead and check it out. But look, it does not give technical information regarding Bitcoin as such, but it does give you a very broad level explanation of what Bitcoin is. Now I'm really curious to check, guys, if other ETF issuers will be doing the same thing. I'm pretty much sure, guys, they might be having advisors, and as and when they get high net worthy individuals, they will go ahead and offer them consultation, isn't it? Now if you're someone who needs consultation one-on-one, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Now guys, let's go ahead and discuss 2 partnership news, and the first news, guys, is all the way from Bahrain, and this is a leading exchange called as CoinMena, and the news essentially is that CoinMena has partnered with Standard Chartered Bank Zodia Markets, and this partnership, guys, aims to enhance liquidity on fiat to crypto traders, and it will boost liquidity and reduce slippage in high volume trades between G10 and GCC currencies and stable coins or crypto assets. And Zodia Markets, guys, the trading infrastructure ensures efficient settlement for institutional clients, complementing CoinMena's platform for retail and institutional investors in the MENA region. And this collaboration, guys, aims to provide efficient entry and exit from digital asset market with minimal transaction cost, bridging traditional finance with digital assets. Now if you do want to go ahead and check the official news, guys, it is actually published via CoinMena, and the link to that is in the show notes below. Now guys, let me go ahead and touch base on another partnership news, and that is regarding Manchester City Football Club and one of the leading cryptocurrency exchanges, that is OKX. And they have teamed up to launch Unseen City shirts, which is a unique set of NFT collections, and fans, guys, can mint these digital collectibles on the OKX app for a chance to win a rare jersey and match the experiences. And the jersey, guys, features hand-printed design by artist Christian Jeffrey, incorporating symbols like the Lancashire Rose and the Manchester Worker Bee. Now the rarity of the NFTs, guys, determine the prices, with ultra-rare NFTs offering exclusive experiences like playing on the pitch, while rare NFTs provide stadium tours and special edition jerseys. And so far as minting is concerned, guys, minting is free on the OKX market, and this news, guys, was actually told by OKX to Cointelegraph, and the link to that is in the show notes below. Now these were some macro level news, guys, on the cryptocurrency and blockchain world. Now let's look at 2 news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. And the first news, guys, is regarding Varus Capital Ventures Limited, as they are set to launch in Abu Dhabi global market, and I'll go ahead and discuss how it is connected to DeFi, GameFi, Web3 and quite a lot of other. Now so far as this news is concerned, guys, it is actually published via Abu Dhabi global market website, that is www.adgm.com. And the news essentially is that Varus Capital has partnered with Funkrock Investment Management Services Middle East Limited to manage a feeder fund, and the feeder fund, guys, will invest in a master fund focused on blockchain innovation, Web3 and infrastructure. And so far as this master fund is concerned, they target DeFi, GameFi and Web3, infrastructure and emerging technologies, and Varus, guys, aims to invest in domestic companies in the UAE to support the directives and innovation. Now the initial investment, guys, was secured from family offices and even institutions and high net worthy investors, and they aim to close $75 million in funding round. And guys, Fundrock, Al Tamimi, Apex Fund Services Abu Dhabi Limited and Crowmark LLP are key service providers, and the director of Varus Capital guys has emphasized UAE's leadership in digital assets, and they plan immediate deployment to reinforce UAE's global appeal in blockchain technology. And Matthew Prescott from FundRock has expressed enthusiasm for the diverse offering of the fund, and Arvind Ramamurthy, Chief of Market Development of ADGM, has applauded this partnership. And ADGM's growth strategy guys includes progressive regulations for DeFi and blockchain. Now this initiative aims to bridge investment gaps for new age finance companies in ADGM, and they're expecting significant growth within the sector and enhanced industry development. And ADGM guys fosters a vibrant community of domestic companies in new age finances in it, and this partnership aligns with ADGM's vision of the capital of capital in Abu Dhabi, and the focus areas include DeFi, blockchain and related subclusters. So look guys, this is definitely positive news, and as and when this news develops, I'll go ahead and update and give a follow-up on this news. Now guys, let's look at second news. And DCAI, that is Dubai Center for Artificial Intelligence guys, they have announced a global AI prompt engineering championship, and it is scheduled to take place from the 20th till the 21st of May at the iconic Museum of the Future in Dubai, and this is under the patronage of His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. And the total prize pool guys exceeds 1 million dirham, and the registration guys for the championship is in the website of Dubai Center for Artificial Intelligence. Now, so far as this competition is concerned guys, it evaluates proficiency in innovating AI prompts in coding, art and literature as well. Now the total prize money guys is approximately 1 million dirham, and 30 finalists will be selected through a voting system, 10 in each category to compete in Dubai, and the evaluation guys will be done by a jury of academics, innovators and AI experts, and they are going to be based on speed, quality and accuracy. And Kalfan Balul guys, the CEO of Dubai Future Foundation, highlighted the event's importance in attracting top AI talent, and the aim is to showcase new future AI skills shaping the field, and this aligns with UAE's leadership vision and Dubai's commitment to technology adoption. So definitely positive news. And this event guys cultivates a global community of AI prompts engineering experts, isn't it? And it fosters knowledge sharing, experience exchange and innovation showcase, and it creates an open space for local and global talents, and it seeks to foster global competition and unlock new frontiers for artificial intelligence capabilities. And it definitely reinforces Dubai's position as a future-ready digital hub, and it aims to catalyze significant advancement in AI application for humanity's betterment. So look guys, it is definitely positive news. And as I mentioned earlier guys, I did actually get a prompt on this via Instagram, and I've gone ahead and applied for it as well, and they did actually go ahead and send me a link where I need to go ahead and register and feed in more details. So those were the news guys on the cryptocurrency, blockchain and artificial intelligence world from Crypto and Coffee at 8 from Blockchain DXB. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, mention them in the comments below. And guys, if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes is going to be an Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi and Metaverse. Let's kickstart with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi and Metaverse. I have a question by Sasha who asks, how do you foresee the continued evolution of transaction fees and miner rewards in Bitcoin ecosystem, especially considering the recent fluctuation following the Bitcoin halving event? Of course, Sarah, this is such a brilliant question. Now, so far as the evolution of transaction fees and miner rewards in Bitcoin ecosystem is concerned, and following the halving event, Sasha, where block rewards for miners are halved approximately every 4 years, miners have increasingly relied on transaction fees as a substantial portion for the revenue. And what has happened is because of ordinal inscriptions and because of runes, the transaction fees is absolutely humongous, isn't it? And roughly around 3 weeks ago, I did actually mention just in ordinal inscriptions, I think the miners did get well over $500 million in fees. Now, regarding your question, Sasha, we definitely witnessed a dramatic surge in transaction fees, isn't it? And that was driven by heightened demand for block space, and that was because of reduced block subsidy. Now, this surge, Sasha, peaked over $254 per transactions, and that definitely underscored the market willingness to pay for high fees, and they wanted to prioritize transactions on the blockchain, isn't it? But look, it's really important to understand and recognize the inherent volatility and elasticity of transaction fees in response to market conditions, in my opinion. Now, as we have seen, Sasha, in recent days, average fees have declined from the peak, reflecting both natural corrections and adjustments in user behavior, in my opinion. And there are also some factors such as, let's say, network congestion, transaction volumes, and the adoption of layer 2 solutions. And few days ago, I did actually talk about Lightning Network, and those things, Sasha, can significantly influence the fee dynamics as well. Moreover, ongoing protocol development and optimization, such as let's say the implementation of Taproot, they also aim to enhance fee efficiency and reduce transaction costs over time, in my opinion. So what I have to say is, look, Sasha, while transaction fees may experience fluctuations in short term, the long-term trajectory points towards a balance between miners' revenue and user affordability. And as Bitcoin continues to mature and scale, I do anticipate a more stable fee environment, thereby ensuring network sustainability and accessibility for all participants. But look, only time will tell how the fees remain consistent. Those are my honest thoughts, but definitely a really interesting and challenging question. And that's about all, guys, from the Ask Me Anything series on Blockchain DXB. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestion, mention them in the comments below. And guys, if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And remember, guys, Monday to Thursdays, 8 am to 8:30 am, we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, Metaverse, and how this series of episodes on the Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East, from Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and blockchain world. And now we also look at artificial intelligence news as well, isn't it? And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.